What's going on? What's going on, my good people? Welcome to another episode of Let the Film Speak. I am your host tonight, Chop. Usually here with my main man, Willie Jack, but my man is under the weather a little bit tonight, man. So he's unable to be here with us tonight, man. So Willie Jack, man, we're gonna miss you on here as always. I'm gonna miss going back and forth with you. You know what I'm saying? But he couldn't be here tonight with me. So, I'm gonna rock it by myself, man. The show goes on. It's 7 o'clock on Wednesday. So we still here. We can't go without it. You know what I'm saying? So we still here tonight, man. Y'all know what this show entails. If you've been here long enough, you've been a fan, you've been watching us, man. You've been a fan of Let the Film Speak. Tonight is our recap show, man, where we recap all the games from week 5, man. Touch base on all of those, give you a little bit of insight from my perspective. I'm pretty sure my dog Willie Jack is gonna be in the chat tonight, so you'll probably hear his perspective on some of these games too. But I like to do it like this because he can't talk back now. He just gotta listen. You know what I mean? He can't come with nothing else. He just gotta listen to everything I say. He just gotta roll with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the name of the game today, man. But before we kind of get into the show tonight, man, a few things for you. First and foremost, if this is your first time here, this is your second time here. If you've been rocking with us from the very beginning, we need y'all all to do the same thing, man. And we tell y'all all the time, I need y'all to like, I need y'all to share, I need y'all to subscribe, man. We appreciate everybody for tuning in with us tonight. I need y'all to go ahead and do that, man. Invite your peoples. Tell them to come on in. If y'all like talking ball, man, we like talking ball, and we want to provide you with all the information, all right? So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. And first and foremost, let's get into some of these announcements, man. Weekly Pick'em. I must remind you, as I remind you all the time, get your picks in, all right? Get your picks in. There my dog Willie Jack is, man. I already know, film fam, man. I know what it is, man. You're out sick, man, but it's all good. I'm going to hold it down for you. But the weekly pick'em, man, be sure to get your weekly picks in. Get them in early. You know what I'm saying? Get them in right. Miles, he got him in 1 week. He got him in on a Wednesday night, man. So you can get those picks in tonight. That'll be cool. As of right now, the standings are Willie, Jarrell, and Miles are all tied for first with 45 picks. You know what I'm saying? With 45 wins so far on the season. And then we got me and Jared. We tied, right behind you guys with 43. And I'm going to tell you like this, man. Before this past week, I was a little further behind, but I'm going to let y'all know right now. Your boy Chop on his way up. He making up his ground. I'm starting to get in my bag. I'm starting to get my feel. You know what I'm saying? And if I get that feel, y'all know it's a wrap. I'm going to catch up with y'all, and I might run off. I might run off with the money, and y'all ain't going to get it back. I might run off with it. So I'm just going to put that out there for y'all right now. That y'all better not let me get in my bag when it comes to these weekly pickles, man, because y'all going to be looking in my back. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't going to look back. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to keep on going. So get your picks in. If you hadn't got them in, man, get them over to me so I can get you locked in. Right now, like I said, we got 3 guys tied for that first spot with 45. And then we got me and Jared. We tied with 43 right behind y'all. Everybody else, hey, man, I'm only mentioning my top few. So, hey, if you ain't in it, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how it go. All right, man. Let's go ahead and jump into it. And actually, I'm gonna start off with some news, man. I was gonna touch on this when I got to the game, but I'm gonna go ahead and touch on it right now. As y'all already know, Matt Rule has been fired or has been let go as the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. Man, he's been let go, and as far as that particular thing goes, I'm gonna go ahead and honor my man Willie Jack, and I'm gonna say hashtag Willie told you, man. Willie said it first, and I kind of second that his opinion on Matt Rule and his seat being a little hot and him being a little bit closer to losing that particular spot, man. And as far as his coaching position, one, Carolina Panthers haven't been good the last few years. You know what I mean? And Matt Rule was one of those coaches that had a little bit of a stronger hold on that, not only the coaching position, but played a little bit of GM too, as far as the players that he wanted to bring in. So it was him behind the madness of bringing Sam Darnold over there. Bringing signing signing Cam Newton, bringing him in, bringing over Baker Mayfield. They did seek out a few other players. They was trying to get Russell Wilson at one point. Then they tried to get Deshaun Watson. A lot of those things fell through. So his may not be as much of the the on-field clock management, game time decisions type things. His was more so of the behind the scenes type things, and just the overall position of the team, as far as how well are they doing. So for him, that was part of the reason why he got fired. He no longer has that job. And, we already told y'all the seat was hot. The team wasn't doing well. And instead of waiting to the end of the season, the Carolina Panthers decided to go ahead and cut them ties right now so that they can help go ahead and move forward. And then we got a Facebook user here, man. Go ahead and state your name. He said, I'm ready for basketball. I ain't had a good sheet all year. Hey, man. Hey, that's just the name of the game, man. You gotta come with your A game, a no game. But hey, you still might not be far behind, man. Just give me your picks, send them on in. Hey, this a long season, man. We only are past week 5. We're about to enter week 6. You got 18 weeks, man. 18 weeks. 18 more times. I mean, we're not 18 more times, but you got about 13 more times to get it right. You know what I'm saying? So we got a long season ahead of us, man. Just get them in and we can get you right. All right. But let's get on into some of these games, man. And let's start it off with the New York Giants facing the Green Bay Packers. This was a London game, and we actually touched a little bit on this game while we were doing a Chop Willie in the morning show. So if you ain't here, check out Chop Willie in the morning every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Check us out. We do a pregame show. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going on ESPN and watching those boys, instead of watching your Fox Sports, instead of checking those guys out, you need to be checking out Chop Willie in the morning because we got those predictions. And as we go through some of these games, I'm going to talk to y'all about some of the stuff I had said to y'all in the first place. And if y'all would have been listening, y'all would have known of what games to pick. You talking about the games to pick, you should have been listening to me in the first place, and you would have been with me. But, hey, that's neither here nor there. I'll be trying to tell you, but, hey, I can't help you listen. I can only lead you to the water. I can't make you drink it. You know what I mean? So, going back to this game, man, like I said, the Giants win this game against the Green Bay Packers 27-22. And I'm just going to say this, man. Brian Daboll keeps finding ways to win. And another thing, Saquon, he's continuing to lead this team, man. And they are continuing to show the same card. Jarrell, what's going on? Day one gang in the building. They continue to show that card. And what it continues to be is we're going to ride our horse. And our horse is Saquon Barkley, man. We're going to give him the ball time after time again. And actually, he went out this game with a shoulder injury. And he said, you know what, forget this. My team needs me. I'm going to go out here and we're going to try to get our way to this W, man. And he comes away with that game-winning touchdown run on the right side and a goal line position, man. So that's what they continue to do. Daniel Jones didn't do anything special, but he just did what they needed for him to do for them to come away with this W, and that's be a game manager. And honestly, just being honest, this is the same type of performances that we're seeing from the Green Bay Packers. The only difference is the Green Bay Packers have more of an elite QB. But if they're not being explosive, if they're not taking a lot of shots down the field or connecting on a lot of those shots down the field, or if they're not a team that can score in an instant, like say the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills and teams like that kind of takes away a little bit of that game that you have. And Green Bay normally has that, you know what I'm saying? Or they have that main guy that gets them in those situations where it's 3rd and 6. I can hit you for a 38-yard gain at any time by hitting my main man, Devonte Adams. So like I just said last week, they really missed Devonte Adams because they don't have that guy. So now you have this Hall of Fame quarterback who's playing more of a game manager role, but just at a little bit of a higher level. But honestly, those are the things that keep other teams in the game. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to be a little bit more susceptible to losing games like this if they continue to play the way that Green Bay has been playing, which is we're going to run the ball, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, and then I'm going to hit you across the middle. Maybe Alan Lazard and Romeo Dobbs, all those different types of guys. But if they can't hit that big play, they can't be explosive and really open up defenses, they're going to start to clog it up, and make things a little bit more tougher on the Green Bay Packers, man. And the defense honestly just has to step it up. Giving up 27 points to a New York Giants team with one offensive weapon, that's inexcusable as well. They got to tighten up, and fix things on that end so that when it comes to games like this, they come away with the W's and it looks a little bit more easy, man. So that's what I can say about that Giants and Packers game. Jarrell got a comment in here. He says the Packers should be ashamed of themselves. Hey, I agree with you. Like I said, it's Brian Daboll. Like I said, he's getting that team in positions where, Hey, they winning these games, man. They winning these games. All right. He said day one gang in the building. And look, hey, that's what I'm talking about. Wifey coming here talking about some Saquon. Hey, y'all know what's up. It's Saquon. Especially in this house. It's Saquon. Me, wifey, sons, my daughter. She ain't ever, well, she be watching football with me. She be trying. She don't know who she watching, but she know when she see 26 went across that screen. You know what I'm saying? That blue and white. I ain't no Giants fan, but we like Saquon, though. Hey, been told you about that. Offensive player of the year. Hashtag best in the business. You know, I've been telling y'all. Y'all better watch it. Better watch it. On to the next game. And we got Pittsburgh. They went to Buffalo to take on the Bills. And I ain't going to stay long on this one. Willie Jack, I ain't going to hurt you too bad, brother. You ain't got to worry about me, man. I'm not going to hurt you too bad. But the Bills end up coming away with this W, 38-3. And this was clearly, as the score indicates, it was a blowout, man. Steelers were just outmatched in every phase of the game. It just wasn't even close. Things I want to point out, though, Josh Allen's arm, man. Josh Allen's arm, I'm talking about beautiful deep passes, a few of them to Gabe Davis, who went 3 for 171, man. He had a big day, but beautiful passes. I'm talking about one from the middle of the end zone. He hit on the money to Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis caught it around like the 40 or something like that and took it the rest of the way. But then the second one was the one I was like, whoo, that was beautiful. He threw that ball so far, it probably was maybe about 60 yards, 60 yards in the air, hit him. Gabe Davis caught it with one arm. And here's the thing, too. He caught it with one hand, but the Steelers safety, Minkah Fitzpatrick, he gets a hand on the ball and actually has his arm wrapped around in it. So he has a chance to take this ball away from Gabe Davis and turn that deep pass into an interception. Gabe Davis out-muscled him, man. Out-muscled him. And he came away with that touchdown pass, man. So, hey, you had Minkah Fitzpatrick versus Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis won that matchup. And overall, the Buffalo Bills just won that matchup. Like I said, they came away with the W, man, and took away with this game and went away with this game. Now, the other thing I'll say on the Pittsburgh Steelers side, offensively, even though they only scored 3 points, they wasn't just stalling out each and every drive. You know what I mean? They had over 370 yards of total offense in this particular game. And Pickett passed for over 300 yards in this game. Now, they just got to learn how to punch it in. I also will say that this Pickett to Pickens combination is real. You know, I've seen enough to say, all right, Pickens will be the number one receiver in this league, you know, when the time comes. All right. He will be the number one receiver in this league. I mean, not in this league. I'm talking about for this team. I'm sorry. Let me stop there. Let me stop giving Willie Jack these little nuggets because he'll run with it. Willie Jack, y'all know Willie Jack will run with anything I tell him. But anyway, Pickens will be the number one receiver on this team. We already talked about Deontay Johnson and know what his role is. At one point, I did think that Claypool had that chance. But it's looking like it's going to be Pickens in the future, man. And I'm hoping that he continues to do that. And we see some great things from this combination in the future. Another thing, though, and Willie Jack, you in these comments, I want to know something, man. Where is Najee Harris? Where is Najee Harris, your pick from last year that you brought in from Alabama that's supposed to be one of the best running backs coming out of that draft? You know what I mean? Now, I'm not knocking his talent. You know what I'm saying? I do think it has something to do with, you know, the offensive line struggles and just the way that this team looks, but I want to know where he's at. You got to figure out a way to get that man the rock, man. You got to figure out a way to get that man the rock and, you know, get him in some space. You know what I'm saying? I know that it's a struggle right now for those guys, but that's what I want to see, man. Get Najee Harris the ball. I want to see it. I want to see him do his thing. My Goggles, my bad, bro. Hey, it's no harm, no foul. I got to talk about the games. My bad. But I just want to know where is my dog? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Skinny, I see you, man. You said, where is Willie Jack, man? Willie Jack is out sick, man. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. He's out. He's sick, man. He's on IR. You know what I'm saying? He's on IR. But he'll be back soon, man. Expect him back for Chopping Willie in the morning, Sunday morning at 10 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Tune in. He ain't here tonight, but we're going to hold it down anyway. He's in the chat. Holler at him. You can holler at him. He in the chat right there. All right. Then we got he said he's back there whiffing on pass box. Yeah, I saw that too. But hey, man, they told me to chill out on the Steelers, so I ain't gonna go too hard on them. All right, I ain't gonna go too hard on them. Willie Jack on the PUP list. On to the next game, man. Let's go to the Chargers. They go to Cleveland to take on the Browns. All right. And this is where I started to separate myself because it was a lot of people that was picking Cleveland Browns. I don't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they forgot that he's still Herbert. You know what I mean? I know that we having a lot of conversation about, you know what I'm saying, Herbert not necessarily being up there with the best QBs in the league, but he's still Herbert. He's still nice. He's still a guy, you know what I mean, in my eyes. But they end up coming away with this W, man, winning this one 30-28. But I'm going to say this, though. Both teams' ground game had it going this game. Chubb, 17 carries, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns. Is a monster running the rock, man. And that's one thing I will agree with you on, Willie Jack, is when he says that with the ball, just being a pure runner, Chubb is the best. We've been saying it for multiple years anyway, you know what I mean? But Chubb he runs the ball like no other. You know what I mean? He's the only running back that I see that has that runaway speed. He runs with a lot of power. He can put his foot in the ground, you know what I'm saying, hit those holes hard. And he's a something else to tackle. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be in the way when you see him coming. You know, a lot of people, you see Derrick Henry coming through the hole, people moving out the way. Chubb is another one of those running backs, man. He coming through that hole. A lot of people ain't standing in the middle of that and trying to take that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he is, you know, one of the best pure runners in this league. You know, Chubb was still toting that rock, man. 5 good weeks in a row, and he's still continuing to go. And on the other side of that, I told y'all both teams ran the ball well. Austin Ekeler, man, he's starting to get it going. He started off the season slow in those first 3 games. We was wondering, like, where is he? But these last 2 games, man, he's been running that rock. And this game especially, 16 carries, 173 yards, and a touchdown on the ground. And he had a touchdown in the air, man. So he's getting involved on the ground and in the air. They are using him a lot. And I think that this was a great decision for Staley. And that's one of the few positives you're going to see me give him as of right now. And we'll get to that in a minute. But Ekeler, man, he is the key, especially when you got Allen out. Allen is not playing in this game. You need to give him the ball. Ekeler he turns into your chain mover because relying on Mike Williams as your number 1 option ain't going to cut it. You know, he ain't that type of receiver. We told y'all time and time again, he's a jump ball guy. He's not going to create that separation, and he's not as consistent in that way anyway. You know what I mean? So Ekeler is that guy you really want to count on, and you really want to feed him that rock, you know what I'm saying, in order to move those chains and get that offense going and create some balance. And they did that, which is a big reason why they came away with the W. Now, this is where the chat should light up, all right? I need the chat to light up on this one, all right? Because I want to see – hold on, I'm just not seeing these comments. They out here tripping. But you know what? I'm not going to argue too bad, you know what I'm saying, because Chubb is having a wonderful year, you know what I'm saying, right now. So I ain't mad if people say Chubb over Barkley right now. That's cool, you know what I mean? But we all know, in my opinion, Barkley is the best in the business because he's bringing something else to the table. Another part of that, too, is Barkley, the only thing they got on that offense. That's it. The only thing. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, I'm still giving the edge to Barkley. So forget what y'all talk about. But here's the thing I want to talk about, though. All right? And I want y'all opinion in the chat, too. So I need y'all to comment in here. I need y'all to let me know what's going on. But the call by Brandon Staley, all right? It's fourth and about 2. 4th and about 2. They're in their own territory, up 2 points. Cleveland has no timeouts. And instead of punting the ball off and pinning your boy Brissett back, he decides to go for it. I want to know, in y'all opinion, what would y'all have done? Would y'all have went for that? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I thought that was a terrible call. You put them in the worst position possible by putting that ball back and make them drive the whole length of the field to try to get this field goal instead of running the risk of missing, not getting it, which they didn't. They didn't get it, and put the Browns in prime position to just get a few yards, kick this game-winning field goal, and now instead of, you know, the coming away with the W, you come away with an L because you made the silly decision to go for it instead of punting the ball and pinning the Browns deep with no timeouts. That was just a silly call, idiotic call. Now, nowadays, you're starting to hear all this information about all these things about analytics, right? Analytics. You know what I'm saying? You're hearing that a lot. Analytics. Analytics say go for it. And a lot of times, actually more often than not, analytics do say go for it. But analytics don't work. You know what I'm saying? Analytics don't take into consideration the momentum of the game. Analytics don't take into consideration, the attitude going into this. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm a Cleveland Browns defender, and the Chargers don't bring that punt team on the field, oh, you know what I'm thinking now? We got an opportunity, a great opportunity. We get this stop, our offense come back on the field, we finna steal this game. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, all right, I'm going to go to the sideline. They finna punt this ball off. Now we got to drive 50, 60 yards to get in field goal range with a minute left to try to, tie this game or to try to win this game. No, I got an opportunity now. Oh, you finna go for it? Oh, let's go. Let's line this up. You finna give us this chance? Because just because the offense comes back on the field doesn't mean they're the only team that got a chance. The defense got a chance too now. Now that you're going for it, oh, this is an opportunity for us too, and we're going to line this up. You're going to have to beat us. If you beat us, I understand the game is over. But you only got a couple yards to go. You gotta beat us, and they didn't. And me coming off of the field, that's a win. That's a win all day for that Cleveland defense. And it's like, oh, man, we got this opportunity. Let's go ahead and get these yards and kick this field goal. And it came down to him missing the field goal wide right, you know what I'm saying, for them to lose that game. And don't forget, we saw that Cleveland kicker win one game for them like that earlier this year. So I disagree with the call, man. I'm not a fan of it. And, that's just what it is. Kevin Wilkerson came in. He said, better question. Would you have rather have Hackett or Staley? That's what I'm talking about, Kevin. I like that one. That's a great question. A great question. You almost stumped me with that one, man. You almost stumped me with that one. So I think that's tough. I think I still rather have Staley, man. I'd rather have Staley. The reason I'd rather have Staley over Hackett is because I never want a coach that freezes up under pressure. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing Staley, I wouldn't say he does. I think he's just too aggressive, but I don't think he freezes up. I think it's a difference between what he does and what Hackett does. I've seen Hackett freeze up under pressure. You know what I'm saying? If you get a head coach that freeze up under pressure, he's the one that's going to really, like, Staley will cost you a game, but Hackett will not even put you in that position. You know what I'm saying? And I'd rather have Staley, man. Somebody at least, if I'm gonna go out, at least go out going for it versus a QB that just has no idea. I mean, head coach that has no idea what's going on because he's a deer in the headlights. You know what I'm saying? He can't even fathom what's going on. So I'm with you on that one. That's a great question, man. Great question by Kevin Wilkerson, man. He came with that question. So, hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. And Jarrell said, yeah, they dropped them onions and made the stop. Yeah, they did. They dropped them, made the stop, and hey, they almost had a chance to pull this one off. And I was gonna be mad because I picked the Chargers to win that game, and they almost tricked it off. Almost gave away the Church's money, man. So either way, Chargers came away. They win this one, come away with the double. On to the next game, man. We had Chicago go to Minnesota to take on the Vikings, and the Minnesota Vikings come away with this W. They win this one 29-22. All right. And so early in this game, Cousins and Jefferson, they had the connection, and they had it going, man. They had it going. And he said, now who you think I have the better team? I'm going to come back to you on that one, Kevin. I'm going to come back to you. So Cousins and Jefferson had the connection going, connected early and often. Jefferson in this game went for 12 for 154, but I believe he had over 100 yards in the first half. You know what I'm saying? So they had that going. They was cooking early, and it was looking like it was going to be curtains closed early in this particular game. Cook also was running the ball well. He had 94 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. So he's still continuing to do his thing. And that's one thing I do want to talk about too, because the Minnesota Vikings are starting to move a little bit closer to a committee thing. Now they're moving more closer to a committee. Usually if Cook is healthy, he's getting almost all of them carries. But now, especially with Cook having that shoulder injury, that subluxation. So I know what a subluxation is like. I've had one. I played with one in college as well. And it's gonna come back out. You know what I'm saying? That's just what happens depending on what position you're in. See, I use my hands a little lot, especially in press coverage. So a lot of times I will be susceptible to that happening again. Devin Cook, he's not as susceptible for it to have it happen again because with him running, a lot of times with your arm extended, is when it's more capable of coming out. But when you have the ball in your hand, you know what I'm saying, you got it tucked, you should be good to go. Now, if he tries to throw a stiff arm, that's when he gets himself in trouble with that shoulder injury. But needless to say, Cook ran the ball well. They did use a little bit of Madison as well, and I like it. I liked it when they used the combination. Cook hasn't been a running back that's been staying healthy a lot of times, so I mean, you want to spell him a little bit, give him a little bit of time, let Madison come in. It's not like Madison's a bum, so when Madison comes in, Madison's gonna run that rock, man. He's gonna do some good things. So that's what they continue to do, and they come away with this victory, 29-22. Now on the other side of that ball, Miles, if you're still in here, Willie Jack, you still in here. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about Fields, right? I know they put up that post where it says the Chicago Bears are going to draft another quarterback if they end up having, like, it was like the 4th pick or something like that. They was going to get another quarterback. I don't think they should. I think they should focus on building around Fields, which they failed to do this past year. They didn't bring in anything. But I think they should continue to build around Fields. And this past game shows a reason why. All right. These are the flashes I was talking about. Yes, he's continuing to show those flashes. No, he's not perfect. No, they're not throwing the ball a ton. But these are the things that you see from him. And it's like, man, this dude can be nice. And to be honest, you watch some of the plays that he makes. It reminds me of some of the plays that we see Hurts making. You know what I'm saying? Hurts is a quarterback that on any given day, he'll rush about 17 times. You know what I mean? And you watch this offense and they're successful. Now, I had my doubts early on, but as of right now, man, they're playing some really, really good ball. So I feel like if the Bears continue to build this offense and this entire team, you know, in a similar fashion that we see the Eagles built, I think this team could be very successful. And I think Justin Fields can be dangerous back there at the QB position. You know what I'm saying? He has all of those different things, and I like what I see from him. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that I was talking about when I say we see these flashes from him. And in fact, he had a long touchdown run that got called back off a penalty. You know what I'm saying? So he's showing those flashes, man. He shows that he can play at this level and he can be successful. And I can tell you what, he's showing flashes that some of those other quarterbacks that was drafted in his class haven't been showing. You know, I haven't been seeing some of these same flashes from Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones. You know what I'm saying? Some of those guys, even Trey Lance. Now Trey Lance got hurt, so you know what I'm saying. That's you know, we take that with a grain of salt. But you know, it's a lot of guys we haven't been seeing those same flashes from. So I say don't draft another quarterback here. I think that would be silly. No, just go build around your guy. You got an early pick, go get you a big time guy. Maybe it's a big time offensive lineman, a big time, you know what I'm saying, receiver, or you know, something like that. Definitely protect them, but continue to build around them, man. So that's what I see from the Chicago team, and that's what I want to continue to see. All right. Comments in here, man. Jarrell says they would be stupid to get another QB. They have not given him nothing to be successful. It's absolutely right, Jarrell. Absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to see. I want to see them build around him and put him in position to be successful. So that's what I'm trying to see. Tion, what's going on with you, bro? Appreciate you for tuning in. It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute, and I wish you was in here. We was just talking about them Green Bay Packers, man. I'm sorry I took the L, but hey, I'm glad to see you in here, brother. I'm glad to see you in here. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, we still going in here. Next game. Let's go on to this next game, man. We had Detroit. Detroit going to New England to take on the Patriots. Patriots come away with this W 29-0. Now, if y'all would listen to Chop Willie in the morning, and I'm going to let you know the time again because I don't want y'all to miss it this time. Chop Willie in the morning, 10 a.m. every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Central Time. Tune in. It's the pregame show. We give you predictions on every single game. I need y'all to tune into that because if y'all tune into it, y'all will know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all will know exactly what I'm telling y'all. Y'all be able to listen to it. And maybe y'all can take some notes and switch some games. You know what I'm saying? To those people that's in the pick'ems, switch some games. So every Sunday morning, 10 a.m., Chopping Willie in the morning. Check us out on YouTube. That's where we at. You know, we're going to be live just like I'm live right now. Willie Jack will be back off the PUP list. You know what I'm saying? He out. He's suffering from a little bit of something. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, he'll be back, and we'll be back doing our thing. But let's go ahead and jump into this game, right? So I told y'all, Bill has something on Goff. I told y'all that from the very beginning. I said, Bill has something on Goff. It's something I see within this particular game. And the way that this matches up, man, don't be surprised if New England come out and they put it on them. And that's what they did. They put them big boy pants on and they put it on them boys. You know what I'm saying? They won this game 29-0. They had 176 yards on the ground. And that high-scoring offense got stumped. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I think that this offense is going to completely wet the bed week in and week out? No. That offense ain't going to wet the bed like that. It ain't going to be like that every single week. But sometimes they're going to run into some teams like this. And I'm just going to be honest with y'all, man. Detroit is still Detroit. All right? A lot of us fell in love with them, including me. You know, after watching Hard Knocks, you know, after watching them come on TV, man, and see all the different things. And, you know, we fell in love with him, man. We fell in love with him. We fell in love with Dan Campbell. You know what I'm saying? Dan Campbell is a great head coach, a head coach I would love to play for, you know, but Detroit is still Detroit. You can't change the players on the field. You know what I'm saying? That offense is nice, but that defense leaves a lot to be desired. You know what I'm saying? And Ramondre Stevenson showed y'all that, man. Them boys lined it up, and they was running that ball down their throat, play in and play out. And the boy Zabby, man, Zabby, he came in and he did what he needed to do as a third-string quarterback. I know we didn't expect him to win 29-0 with a third-string quarterback, but he was able to do that. And these are the type of game plans that Bill Belichick can put together. Not necessarily offensively, defensively. These are the type of games they can put together and do what we saw to the Detroit Lions this past Sunday, man. So there you go. There you have it. We had a few comments up here too. We had Tion. He said, Zappy tough. He's showing he want to take that starting role. Hey, man, you never know. It depends on how long the starting guy's out. I don't know if they'll give it to him, especially because Mac Jones he's still a second-year QB, man, and they really want to give him that opportunity. But honestly, and Willie said this too, you can't really tell the difference. You know what I mean? So they running the same type of offense. They're going to run the ball a lot, and they want the quarterback to be that manager that can be efficient. That's all they need him to do. You know what I'm saying? So he came in, he did that job, and he was good to go. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, we'll see. We'll see. He said, Jarrell said the Patriots running game is starting to be dangerous. Yes, they are. They're starting to be really dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And run down everybody's everybody thought. And then I heard Goff is overrated. Number one pick bust. I ain't ready to say bust. I'm not ready to say that because bust, I think, is a harsh word, and he's still a starter, a valuable starter in this league. I think that if we did QB rankings, he'd be right there in the middle of the pack along with a lot of these other guys. You know what I'm saying? We'll have your top guys, of course, but when you start getting down to the, you know, Ryan Tannehills and all those different guys, he's right in the mix. He's right in the mix with a lot of those guys. I would still say that he is a viable starter in this particular league. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say that he's an actual bust. So I wouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? That's a little bit too far. And I still believe he's shown a lot of maturity in terms of the play that I've seen from him when he was playing with the Rams. And, of course, I'm a Rams fan, so I was watching the boy. So I've seen a big difference from when he was playing with us to where he's playing now, man. He's playing much more comfortable ball, and he looks a lot better in that system than he did with us. You know what I'm saying? So Kevin comes in again. He comes with another question. He says, so is Mariota? So was Ryan Fitz? I don't know what you're asking, my man. You have to cut it up. But I'm gonna keep it going, man, because the comments are starting to flow. So I'm gonna keep it pushing. Seattle goes to New Orleans to take on the Saints, man. And the Saints come away with this W 39-32. All right, 39-32. Now, I'm gonna say this too. I'm not sure what to make of New Orleans. I'm not sure what to make of the Saints. And this is the reason why. Coming into this season, we watched all the moves that they made. You know what I'm saying? Going to get Tyrann Mathieu, you know, going to get this guy, going to get that guy. And one thing that we felt was going to be for sure when it came to this Saints team was the defense. Okay? Was the defense. Now, I'm going to put it like this. Now, I ain't going to go into all the yards and stuff like that because at the end of the day, it's about the points. All right? Now, this week, their defense gave up 32. Last week, their defense gave up 28. The week before, against the Panthers. All right, the Panthers, mind you, they gave up 22, and week 1 against the Falcons, they gave up 26. This is the 7th worst team or defense when it comes to points given up per game. All right, 7th worst. We expected this defense to pretty much be almost a top 5 defense in this league, and they're not playing like it. They are not playing like it. Their defense is struggling, and if it wasn't for Taysom Hill, this team probably would have been walking away with an L in this particular game. You know what I'm saying? An L. Now, another thing about the New Orleans Saints, this was the first week that they made Kamara a high priority. Now, he did miss a couple games, but compared to the first game and in week 3, they used him a lot more. He had 23 carries on the ground. He had 6 catches. You know what I'm saying? Over 200 yards from scrimmage. Now, he didn't get in the end zone, and this is another. If you watch Chopping Willie in the morning, Willie Jack, if you still in here, man, tell him who I told y'all was gonna be the performer of the week, man. Tell him who I told y'all. I said Kamara he was gonna be my performer of the week, over 200 yards from scrimmage, man, doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? They made him a focus in this particular offense, and they made sure they fed him, and he had a big game. But then you look at Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill, he saved him. He had 9 carries. 9 carries, man, for like 100 and some yards and 3 touchdowns. So if it wasn't for them two, man, I don't know, 112 yards and 3 touchdowns. There you go. But if it wasn't for them two, man, hey, they would have been in trouble. They definitely would have been in trouble when it came to that. All right. Let's keep it on pushing, man. And while we in it, man, I might as well go ahead and let y'all know again. Of course, let the film speak, man. You got to go holler at the 3 amigos, as my dog Willie Jack would say. Holler at the 3 amigos. That's like, that's 1. That's share, that's subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? And when you share it, I need you to share it to your partners. You know what I'm saying? And then tell your partners to share it to their partners, and tell your partners' partners to share it to their partners. I need y'all to continue to share this, man. Get it out. Come on in. Join us, man. I want to talk to y'all. Talk to me, I'll talk back. You know what I'm saying? We love to do this, man. We love to do this. We do it each and every week. Wednesdays, 7 o'clock. We never late. Well, actually, I ain't gonna lie to you. We may be like 1-2 minutes late, but we gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got my watch on because I knew what time it was. It felt right. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even look at the clock in the crib. I was just like, you know what? I think it's about that time. I need to head on down to that basement, head to the chop shop. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it. You know what I'm saying? Head on to the chop shop, you know what I'm saying? And talk some football to my guys and talk football with my guys. So, man, 7 o'clock every Wednesday. Again, 10 o'clock every Sunday morning, man. It's Chopping Willie in the morning, brought to you by Let the Film Speak. Please go like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, man. It's a 3-piece spicy, like my boy Jarrell said. 3-piece spicy, like, share, and subscribe, man. Keep on tuning in because we appreciate y'all tuning in and joining in with us. Now, back to the regular scheduled programming. And I'm going to go to this next game. We had Miami go to New York to take on the Jets. Whew. Hey, y'all better do. Hey, I told y'all again. This was going to be an upset. And that's what it was, man. It was an upset. And I ain't going to lie. I didn't think it was going to be like this, though. 40-17. Woo. It got ugly. It got real ugly in this game, man. 40-17. The Jets beat the Miami Dolphins, man. Hey, and Chop was in his bag this week. That's all I'm going to tell y'all. Chop was in his bag. But going into this game, man, it wasn't like Zach Wilson was just willing and dealing. You know what I'm saying? He had a solid game, but it wasn't like he was just picking them apart here and there. You see the score, you would think it was something like that happening, but what it really was Breece Hall. I told you about him again. Breece Hall, man, is showing that he is here in this NFL, in this league, and he is here to stay, man. He is here to stay. 18 carries for 97 yards and a touchdown on the ground. 2 catches for 100 yards in the air, man. I'm talking about a big day for Breece Hall. He's showing y'all, man, he's the guy on this offense. Get me the rock, and I'm going to take us to the promised land. And that's what they're continuing to do. They're starting to ride this young bull very early and often, and he's showing that he's fully worth the pick that they made for him. And the Jets, man, the Jets can be scary for some people. The Jets can be scary. They got a lot of weapons on offense. Of course, they got a strong running game right now. And they got their own little mini two-headed monster itself with Breece Hall and Michael Carter. Man, Michael Carter had a couple touchdowns this game too, and they fed him on the goal line. You know what I'm saying? I guess they figure, man, put Mini-Me in the game. Let them find one of those little holes and get on in there, man. So they had a very, very good game, and they went ahead and upset the Miami Dolphins in this particular one to come up with the W. Now, on the other side of it, too, I'm not going to take too much credit for calling this upset because they did have Skylar Thompson starting, you know what I'm saying, or playing in this game as a quarterback. He didn't start. Teddy Bridgewater started. Teddy 24, as we call him, and he was knocked out of this game after one pass attempt. You know, so they did have to rock with the third-string QB. And, of course, you know, nobody's really expecting too much from the third-string QB, but he came in doing his thing, and you know, it just wasn't enough. You know, it was good to see Mostert, though. Mostert is a guy coming over from San Francisco, suffered a lot of injuries, man. It was knee injury after knee injury, year after year. And he was another one of those guys like, man, can he stay healthy? But he's staying healthy right now, and he's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? And he ran for he had a pretty big day in this particular day, too. So he ran for 113 yards and a touchdown, and it looks like he's taking the driver's seat in this running back position for the Miami Dolphins over Chase Edmonds, who had it early on. So that's what we're looking at for this particular team. Now, a couple of the comments in here, we got some people still going back and forth on golf, man. I ain't gonna jump in with y'all on that, man. I'll let y'all do your thing. Jarrell said they need Tua back. This is the reason they played that man with the concussion. You know what I'm saying? They need Tua back. Hey, man. They do need him back because I think part of what's missing in their offense is a guy that can feed those playmakers early and often. You know what I'm saying? That's what they were doing early in the season, and they was giving people problems, feeding Tyreek Hill, feeding Jalen Waddle. They are speedsters, and they are monsters after the catch. They can turn a slant into a 90-yard touchdown like that in the blink of an eye. You know, that's how they were able to make that comeback against the Baltimore Ravens. And what was it, week 2, week 3? I forgot which week it was, but they were able to make that comeback and do what they needed to do to come away with the W in that game because they fed those playmakers and they made the plays, man. So, they definitely need that for sure. All right. Let's go into the next game, man. This next game we had Atlanta going to Tampa Bay to take on the Bucs. And the Bucs come away with this W, man. They win this one 21-15. Now, the Bucs started off this game, man. They started off kind of hot. Started off on fire. The offense was moving and operating on high cylinders. And I kind of felt like, okay, these boys is back, man. They moving their rock. They doing their thing. But they started to slow up. They started to fall off a little bit. And they stopped moving the ball as much. Now, Tom Brady did throw for over 300 yards in this game. But like I said, it doesn't tell the whole story. Now, let's go ahead and skip. Let's just go ahead and skip until one of the crucial moments in this game. All right. Now, we late in the game, and we get a roughing the passer call. All right. And it's fitting because we're just coming off this Miami game where we're talking about the concussion of Tua. And I guarantee you that's where that call came from. Because if you watch the play, Grady Jarrett comes in and he slings Tom Brady around. He slings him around, and it looks very similar to the play where Tua got slung around, except Tua, when he got slung around, he landed and he hit his head on the ground, and it looked bad. Of course, if anybody else, even they watched that game, of course, it looked bad. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that play happened. But the play looked very similar in this particular game where Grady Jarrett swung Tom Brady around, and I just think the league was just a little bit too sensitive at the time, as well as the referees on these particular plays because of what happened and all the scrutiny that the NFL was facing and so on and so forth. And this is what happens. This is what you get. You know what I mean? And they cost Atlanta an opportunity to come and win this game. You know what I'm saying? It cost them the opportunity. Tampa Bay keeps the ball. They continue to drive, and Atlanta doesn't get the same opportunity that they had to win this game as they would have had because that would have been that stop for them, a third down stop, and Atlanta would have been able to get the ball back. Atlanta fought. Atlanta fought. They were feisty in this particular game. As we say week in and week out, they were continuing to be feisty. They stayed in this game, man. They did everything they could to stay in this game, but due to that, they cost them an opportunity. Now, there was somebody in the group that said, I believe it was Ike. He ended up telling me that he was being sarcastic. But there are some people that think like this in a sense where the game shouldn't come down to one call. I get that part. I get that aspect. That's more so from a coaching aspect because you want your players to play a perfect game, but that's just not reality. Reality is some of these games come down to one play, and you only get that one play, and you get that one opportunity, and you hate to see that opportunity taken away because a referee made a bad call. And that's just the bottom line. That's just the bottom line. People win players and teams win Super Bowls on one play. You know what I'm saying? Teams win Super Bowls on one play. So one play cost them an opportunity, man. And hey, that's just what it is, man. That's just what it is. So there we goes with this. There's a couple of comments in here. They still going kind of going back and forth, man, talking about some QBs. You know what I'm saying? They talking Goff, they talking Tannehill. You know what I'm saying? They talking a few different guys. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna join you guys in just a second, but I'm gonna keep it going, man. I'm gonna keep this show going for sure. And this next game we got Tennessee. They go to Washington and come away with the W in this game. They win this one 21-17. All right. Hey, and Willie Jack, it's another one, man. I'm sorry. I apologize, sir. I know you got Tennessee. You picked Tennessee in this game, but this under 1,000 yards thing don't look like it's going your way, brother. I think King Henry is starting to polish off that crown, my dog. He's starting to polish it off. He say, hey, it was in the basement or it was in the attic. It was getting dusty a little bit. That crown was getting dusty, and he's starting to let everybody know, hey, man, I still got it. It's still here with me. You know what I mean? I ain't got rid of it or nothing. You know, it's just been in the basement or it's been in the attic. You know, I can go get it though. If you want me to go get it, I can go get it. You know, is what Derrick Henry is saying about his crown, trying to let everybody know, hey, man, I ain't went nowhere, and I ain't giving this crown away just that easy. You know, I got hurt last year. You know, Jonathan Taylor came and did his thing, you know, in which we'll talk about Jonathan Taylor later. But, and we got some other guys stepping into the picture, you know, Chubb and Barkley and now Josh Jacobs. We'll get to that too. But he's letting everybody know, I ain't went nowhere. I'm here, man. I'm here. So, my guy Derrick Henry, man, ran the ball very well in this particular game. Again, they feeding him a lot, almost touched the ball. He did touch the ball 30 times, 28 carries for 102 tubs, you know what I'm saying, and led this team to a victory. All right. And for Washington had a chance to win this game, man. But this is what you get. Like I said before, this is what you get when you have Carson Wentz, man. When you have Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is that guy that'll explode, you know what I'm saying, and light you up, hit you downfield. But he will make that crucial turnover. And that's what he did late in this game to seal the deal for Tennessee. He threw an interception near the goal line, and that was just it. That was all she wrote. All right. And that's what you get there. Now, we got guys sitting here talking about Tannehill. They talking about Goff, you know, and they talking about everything. Now, Kevin, you bring up a good point. He said Rivera's quarterback comment. I'm gonna say it like this. Well, first off, if y'all didn't hear it, okay, Ron Rivera got a question about, you know, the position that this team is in, why they lose, and or why they're in a different position than some of the other teams in his division. And his answer was the quarterback. All right. First thing with that answer, totally threw his quarterback under the bus without a care in the world. He threw his quarterback under the bus and said, hey, it's the quarterback's fault. All right, this is my quarterback. This is the reason why the other teams are winning, and so on and so forth. The second part of that is Ron Rivera. That ain't quite adding up, my brother. All right, that ain't quite adding up. And let me tell y'all why. The New York Giants, you know who their quarterback is? I don't know. Y'all in here. Y'all in the chat. Who's the quarterback for the New York Giants? This is Mr. Daniel Jones, a.k.a. Danny Dimes. Anybody feel like he's a top 10, top 15 guy in the league? I wouldn't think so. I'm pretty sure y'all don't think so. Cowboys. Dak Prescott played one game? Who's the quarterback for the Cowboys right now? Cooper Rush. Oh, would anybody have ever thought Cooper Rush is a top guy in this league? He was a backup. He wasn't even a starter. Cooper Rush, the other quarterback. Giants 4-1. Cowboys 4-1. The Eagles is the only team in this division who have their starting quarterback who we felt like is playing at a very, very high level right now. Now, Cooper Rush is playing some pretty solid ball, but if you're going to blame it on the quarterbacks, we got one team winning with a backup quarterback and one team winning with a below 20 in the league quarterback. If you're talking about rankings, that ain't adding up, Mr. Ron. Sounds like excuses to me. And I'm just going to go ahead and be honest with y'all. We're gonna talk about somebody else's seat is getting pretty warm. Ron Rivera, your seat getting warm over there, my brother. It's starting to get warm. I need to see more. I need to see this team, get up off of that dirt and do some stuff, man. Be successful. You know what I mean? I need to see a little bit more from that, man. So, Ron Rivera, that was a horrible comment. You threw your quarterback under the bus for one, and then for two, it didn't make sense because two of the teams that are winning in your division. One has a backup quarterback, and one has one of the, I ain't gonna say one of the worst QBs in the league because it's some bad QBs out there, but he ain't a top 20 quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, Ron, you got to get it together, man. The eyes is on you now. If the eyes wasn't on you before, eyes are on you now, and it's about time for you to go ahead and get it together, my man. Go ahead and get it together. All right. On to the next game. And I should have listened to my boy Willie Jack because he told y'all it was a dumpster bowl, and that, in fact, what it was. Houston wins this game over Jacksonville 13-6. 13-6. All right. And I'm gonna ask this question first, man. To everybody out here. Who is Jacksonville? Who is Jacksonville? All right. Jacksonville started off the season to where I potentially felt like, hey, man, they can contend. They could possibly be a playoff team, in which honestly they still have that opportunity. They still have that chance. The Colts ain't playing, the best ball, but Jacksonville, who are you? You come in, you actually demolish a Colts team who we felt like was gonna be solid. You know what I'm saying? Play some other great games in this particular season, but in this one, against one of the worst teams in the NFL, you don't show up. So I want to know, who are you? One thing I can say is I'm starting to see that Trevor Lawrence ain't what we thought he could be, man. I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to see the writing on the wall. Trevor Lawrence got some work to do. He got some stuff that he needs to get together and fix if he wants to continue to be the quarterback in the future of this team. You know what I mean? So it needs to get some. They need some fixing over there. Doug Peterson needs to get back to the drawing board, draw some more plays up, draw some more stuff up that'll make it easier for this team. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking to see what's going on with that. Get back to running the ball. Get back to doing what you do to set things up for your particular team, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm looking to see for this Jacksonville team, because they still have an opportunity, believe it or not, to be a playoff team. Damien Pierce, though, on the other hand, Damien Pierce looks like a legit thing. Now, he is a rookie. He's a rookie that looks like he's legit. Look like he's there to stay, looking like he's taking control of this running back position. 26 carries, almost 100 yards, 99 yards, and a touchdown. And it was one of the runs that I saw, man. He broke tackle after tackle after tackle after tackle and got tackled at like the one and ended up punching it in on like a play or two later. Damien Pierce looks legit, man. He looks legit, looks like, he's the real deal, and I'm anxious to see what he's going to continue to look like as this season goes on, as he continues to develop and, learns the game a little bit more. So I like what they got and Damien Pierce got, but needless to say, towards the end of the season, Houston Texans still may be looking for a QB, at the end. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Couple comments in here. Kevin was still talking about the Washington team. And then we got Jarrell coming here. Bro, they are the most inconsistent team in the league right now. Yes, they are, Jarrell. Yes, they are. They in and out. They up, they down. They gotta get some stuff fixed, man. You know what I'm saying? They gotta get some stuff fixed. So, that's where we at with that. On to the next game, okay? And in this next game, we had San Francisco going to Carolina to take on the Panthers. San Francisco comes away with this W 37-15. I'll be short and sweet with this one, but I will say San Francisco, well, you're not the only reason, but you were the finishing touches to this Matt Rule firing, man, and the way that this Carolina Panthers team looks. And I told y'all, and I'm going to tell y'all again, Baker Mayfield is a stat killer, man. He's a stat killer. Wherever he goes, whoever your receivers are, you know what I'm saying, you can forget about it. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are not going to be, you know what I'm saying, or play to the level of what you really expect them to play. You know what I'm saying? DJ Moore, you know, Robbie Anderson. Those are very talented guys, man. They're very talented guys. And this is a conversation me and Willie Jack have a lot of times too, is because we talk a lot about situations. Situations in a sense where sometimes your situation makes you who you are in a sense, you know, as far as, all right, what kind of player are you? You know, and the one I love to bring up every single time is the Odell Beckham, man. Odell Beckham going over to Cleveland, you know, everything dropped. You know, he didn't have the same production that he had in New York. And then he came to the Rams, and then instantly, boom, he's right back at it. He's right back in it, and he's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going on with that. And to be honest with you, I think Baker Mayfield came in with an injury, but I wouldn't be surprised if another guy was going to end up getting a start anyway at some point in this particular season with the way Baker Mayfield has looked for the Panthers team. You know, so they got some work to do. You know, whoever their interim head coach is, you know, he has some work to do. So they definitely got some stuff they need to work through. On the other side of the ball, man, San Francisco, man, business as usual. We're going to run the ball. We're going to play physical. You know what I'm saying? We're going to put up those points. Jeff Wilson, 17 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown, man. We also seen the Tevin Coleman sighting. I think I spoke him up, man. Tevin Coleman, he got in the end zone as well. He played some solid ball. But I do got a question, man. Where's George Kittle? Where is George Kittle, man? George Kittle is a valuable part to this offense. I mean, without a doubt, you know, especially with his ability to block and do things like that, which is, I think, what he's doing more of. But he's probably your best pass catcher, you know, on his team, and is just as dangerous with the ball in his hand as a Debo. I've seen George Kittle break so many tackles, man. Once he gets the ball in his hand, it gets ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see him use a little bit more in his passing game, and maybe they're just working on it. Maybe as time goes by, you know, they'll work him in there. But I'm looking forward. I want to see that, man. I want to see some more George Kittle in this particular offense, man. I want to see some differences and him use more as a piece in this particular offense. So that's what I'm looking to see. Over in the comments, and again, we got Jarrell in here. He says, "Are we gonna give Jimmy G his team back now?" That's a good question, and it really depends on how the rest of the season goes, right? But I think you know what you're getting from Jimmy G, though, Jarrell. You know what you get from Jimmy G. Jimmy G is going to have games like this where he looks solid and consistent. You know what I'm saying? He's going to hit his throws. This game and last week against the Rams, he hits those throws. But then he's going to have games where he makes boneheaded mistakes and throws those interceptions like we seen a couple weeks beforehand. So not a couple weeks. I forgot who they were playing against, but you saw Jimmy G's play. He threw 2 interceptions that game, you know, and you see that inconsistent play and the reason why they wanted to go draft the QB in the first place. So I don't know. I think depending on how far you go in the playoffs, you may have to stick with them. You know what I'm saying? So if they make another Super Bowl and maybe, I don't know, maybe squeak it, maybe win the Super Bowl, you can't go away from Jimmy G. But if they just make the playoffs like they've been doing anyway, you might still have to turn back to Trey. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, you know, how the season goes. But I think depending on how the season goes, it's what's going to be the final sign on what they do with Jimmy G. Is he going to continue to be that guy, or are they going to go another direction? If anything, now it may, because he was going through surgery before, now it may open up some more trades for him, you know, say for the following season. So maybe they get a trade for him, and maybe they get some value back this time, you know, versus the way that they did it this past offseason. Hopefully they learn their lesson, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see. All right. On to the next game, man, and this one makes me upset. I'm just gonna be honest. This one makes me upset. Dallas goes to LA to beat down on the Rams, man. They beat down on my Rams with a final score of 22-10. And this is the game I was scared of. All right. This is the game I was scared of. This was the performance that I felt like Dallas could have against me or against the Rams, in a sense. The pressure. Our offensive line haven't played good all season. We've been inconsistent there, and the one team you don't want to face when your offensive line is having trouble is the Dallas Cowboys with Michael Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, and all those guys getting after the quarterback. That's the one team you really don't want to face. I was hoping that we can fix some things up front, do some different things to where we can actually make some noise and make some plays and score some points and win this game, but nothing, man. Nothing. We still have the same issues. Offensive line, pressure on Stafford. Stafford making some suspect throws. Not having not feeding, not spreading the ball around, enough. Now, you want to get the ball to Cooper Kupp for sure. Cooper Kupp is the one guy that made the only touchdown in this game for the Rams. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of those issues still the same. Now, that defense actually played pretty solid this particular game, man. They played pretty solid and actually bailed the Rams out on the turnover that they had earlier in that game, and they stopped them and held the Cowboys to just a field goal. You know what I'm saying? So the defense is playing pretty solid, but it just wasn't enough, man. It wasn't enough, and it just is what it is, man. But the Rams are struggling right now, man. They upset me, and that's just what it is. And hey, as much as I hate to do it, I still gotta represent my dog on the show. If he was on here, I gotta represent him. And if he was on here and he said it in the chat, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight it for you, Willie Jack. Free TP. If my dog Willie Jack was on here, he would tell you right now. Free TP. You know what I'm saying? TP with an explosive play in this particular game. Went for a touchdown, man. So they end up making his day a pretty good day. But other than that, they didn't do too much of anything else on offense. You know what I'm saying? Cooper Rush only passed for 100 yards. And that's another thing. Let's go ahead and stop it right now. Ain't no Cooper Rush as the guy going forward, man. 100 yards in this game. Dak Prescott coming back. Now, I'm hearing that they're still preparing for Cooper Rush to be the starter in this particular game against the Eagles coming up, which is going to be a big divisional game. But when Dak is ready to come back, take your time, Dak. Definitely take your time, but bring Dak on back, man. Bring Dak on back. All right, so bring him on back in this game and let them do their thing, man. But yeah, like I said, that was the only offensive touchdown. They had an early touchdown with DeMarcus Lawrence. He picked up a fumble recovery, man, returning for a touchdown, and that was just shit. That was all she wrote, man. And I ain't finna keep on talking about it. Forget y'all. Y'all ain't finna make me keep talking about the Cowboys beating the Rams. Forget y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that is what it is. Couple comments though I do want to touch on. So we got Jarrell. I'm gonna hit these. Are we hitting the panic button on the Rams? I am. Yes, I'm hitting the panic button, but I'm gonna explain my panic button. Okay, panic button, man. I still think we're capable of being a playoff team, maybe a wild card team. 10-7, 9-8, something like that. I still think when we start playing some of the rougher teams, like I think we can come up with a W this week against the Panthers, and we go back to 500. But when we start getting some further into the season and start playing some of these other guys, I think we can come away with some W's. But I'm pushing the panic button because you're talking about a team that just came off a Super Bowl win this past year. You know what I'm saying? I expected us to be more consistent than this. Right now, what I'm seeing is some bad football, and against good teams, especially teams that can get after the quarterback, they're going to cause trouble, and that's the one thing that it kind of scares me with us. And I'm pushing the panic button on that, man. I feel like we can still be all right, maybe make the wild card, but not much further than that. But that's not anything to be excited about for me, is making the playoffs. That's not exciting. And then Miles comes in, man. He says Stafford is who we thought he was. I don't even know who did we think he was. You know what I'm saying? Because over with the Lions, he was a good starter. That's who he was. He was a better quarterback than Goff. You know what I'm saying? That's who he was, in which I felt like he came over and gave us what we needed, a Super Bowl ring. You know what I'm saying? And he did some of those things that Goff couldn't do. You know what I mean? So we seen him come over. He did his thing, and we got to the promised land. You know what I'm saying? He had his weapons. He still is a good quarterback, but right now everything is crumbling around him. You know what I'm saying? And he only has 1.5 guys to throw to as well, with no running game. So that's what we're looking at from Stafford, man. That's what we're looking at. And then Willie like to come up and mess with me, man. Right through the inside, huh, Chop. Broke 4 tackles and all. Yeah, whatever, Willie Jack. I'm gonna keep on going. And Miles say, Dookie, this dude funny, man. Oh, Miles crazy, man. On to this next game, man. Let's go to the next one. We have Philly go to Arizona to take on the Cardinals, man. And Philly come. They squeak away with a W in this one, man. They squeak away with a W in this one. All right. Now, I'm gonna say this. Philly or Arizona had a chance to win this game towards the end of the game. Okay. And these are the things when it comes to when it comes to the Arizona Cardinals that make them a rougher team to watch, man, or a rougher team to get behind. So they're in a position, you know, to try to make a comeback and at least tie the game for sure. But Kyler Murray scrambles. He loses sight of the first down marker and slides a yard early. That was on third. Well, that was on second down, which brings up third. The clock is running out, so he has to spike the ball, spikes the ball, which brings up fourth down. And at that point, you got to kick it. You got to kick it from where you at. So they end up trying a long field goal misses, and then that's the game. Philly ends up winning this game. Now, this wasn't a sharp game by Philly by any means. And for a minute, I thought Miles was on to something. Miles will tell you in a minute. He say, "Man, Miles on to something." That was his thing last week. Miles on to something. And I thought he was on to something with this Arizona game and thinking that they was gonna come up with the upset. Okay, so that's what we was kind of looking at in terms of that, and that's what the game came down to. You know. And luckily for Eagles, well, not luckily for luckily for the Eagles, they came away with the W. They hold on, man, and they do their thing. Quiet games for a lot of other players, like some of the guys that really were standing out. You know what I'm saying? With Jalen Hurts, and he did rush for 2 touchdowns. So I mean, it was cool on the ground. But as far as Miles Sanders and AJ Brown, those guys, man, quiet days for them. Dallas Goedert did have a solid day. You know what I'm saying? 8 catches, 95 yards. And Devonte did have a few catches too, but quiet day. But their defense is starting to come into starting to play well, and they doing their thing, man. They definitely doing their thing. On to some of these comments, man. We got William White. The setup is dope, fam. I appreciate that, man. You know I gotta have a chop shop in the back. You know what I'm saying? One of the greats on this side, or yeah, okay, get my finger right. All right, there you go. One of the greats on this side. You know what I'm saying? We got the Rams and the Super Bowl. You know I'm a Rams fan. And then we got, you know what I'm saying, one of the greatest cornerbacks to ever play in Central Methodist University history. You know what I'm saying? Look him up. Don't worry about it. I'll give you a website later. You can check it out. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest corners in Central Methodist University history, number 4. Check him out. They call him Chop. You know what I'm saying? AKA Jeremy Boyce. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. All right. What else we got here? Still undefeated. Yep, still undefeated, man. And the Eagles still doing their thing, man. So shout out to the Eagles, man. They still rolling, and they got a tough one this week coming up against Dallas. On to the next one, man. Let's go to some Sunday night football, man. Sunday night football, Cincinnati. They go to Baltimore to take on the Ravens, and the Ravens end up sneaking one out, man, winning this one 19-17. Okay. Now I'm gonna say this because me and Willie Jack talked about the Ravens defense, man, and the Ravens defense is playing some ball, man. They are playing some ball, and they're playing a lot better than what we saw from them earlier in the season. You know what I'm saying? The first few games. So last game against Buffalo, they start to step it up. And then this game, we see them play another good game on defense, not giving up much. And to be honest, neither team gave up much defensively. Okay, this was more of a defensive game than I thought. Neither QB was sharp. And I'm going to tell you, Lamar's starting to look like the old Lamar. For the first 3 weeks, he was MVP Lamar. In a sense where, let me break this down to y'all, so I don't want nobody to come for me, but in the first 3 weeks, he was MVP in Lamar in the sense where he was making those throws that we were wanting him to make than the years previous to actually qualify him as, oh man, he a top quarterback for real. You know what I'm saying? Now, he was always a top athlete. He was always a guy that can make plays. You know what I'm saying? But he was a guy we wanted to see him make some of those extra throws. Some of those throws where it's like, I know for sure when it comes down to it, he can make the right plays to bring his team back in the game or make that game-winning drive, 2-minute drill, nothing but passing without using his legs to win that game. That's the guy that we were wanting to see. And we started to see some of those skill sets come out the first 3 weeks of this season. Now, the last 2 weeks, he's starting to come back down to earth a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He's starting to look like regular Lamar, not MVP Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Regular Lamar, which is still a hell of a player. Let's get this straight. Still a hell of a player, but his regular Lamar now. He's missing a few throws. One of those throws was an interception. The other one he missed was a wide open touchdown, easy 6 that he overthrew a guy on. Those are the type of throws, man. If you want to be considered with the top guys, you got to hit. Now, I get it. Everybody misses throws. You know what I'm saying? Everybody misses them, but you know what I'm saying? You can't miss them as consistently as you've been missing in the last 2 games. It's been 2 games in a row now that you've been missing a few throws. Let's get back to MVP Lamar. That's the Lamar I want to see. I'm rooting for that Lamar. You know what I mean? That's the one I want to see. So, hey, let's get back to it, man. That's what I'm trying to see. And let's do this thing. But that's what we saw in this particular game. And it actually came down to the GOAT. And I've been telling y'all this too for a long time, man. We're looking at the greatest kicker of all time in a Baltimore Ravens uniform, man. That's got signed earlier this year to a great contract, man. The GOAT. He finished his drives. He finished those drives, and he was the difference in this game, man. 4 field goals with a long of 58. You know what I'm saying? Long field goal to 58, man. And once he gets on the field, man, it's almost money. You know what I'm saying? You 55 and in, he pretty much money. You might want to say 60 and in, he almost money. You know what I'm saying? Justin Tucker, when he out there, man, he is the best kicker in the league. And it's honestly, I thought about it. I was like, hold on, is this the GOAT kicker? You know what I'm saying? Maybe in a game where, you know, we eventually gonna see him pass the torch on to, you know what I'm saying, the future best kicker in the league, Evan McPherson. You know what I'm saying? But the GOAT still held on, man. He hit all his field goals and took care of business in this particular game. All right. Now, on the Bengals side of things, I would say the usage of Chase was a little questionable, man. And I always raise an eyebrow when you got a number 1 receiver. You know what I'm saying? He's a number 1 receiver, clear and cut. All right. He can run routes, catch the ball in traffic. He can do everything that you would want your number 1 receiver to do. You know, see, he's that guy. One-on-one coverage, you're going to him, all that. When you start trying to force him the ball with a lot of screens and end arounds, it automatically raises questions to me. And the questions become, are you using him correctly? Are you trying to figure out a way to use your best receiver? Like, do you not have any things put in place to where, you know what I'm saying, you can get him open, you know what I'm saying, on down in and down out, or put him in positions where he can get open? You know what I'm saying? So that was one thing I was kind of questioning a little bit, you know, and they struggled to get him going. And honestly, these last few weeks, besides week 1, you know, Jamar Chase has been struggling a little bit, man. Now, I still think he's that guy. I still think he's a great receiver, but I want to see a little bit more from this offense and this play calling. And specifically, in one in particular, they got down to the goal line, and this is when you start trying to be too cute and start thinking too much anyway. The Bengals got down to the goal line, right? They got down to, I would say, probably maybe the 2-yard line. They got down to the 2-yard line. It's maybe second down, right? Or first down or second down. And they call a double reverse. A double reverse, first to Chase, then to somebody else. And Tyler Boyd gets tackled for like a 12-yard loss to put them like on a 14 or something like that. On the 14-yard line, they lose those yards. Now you're looking at 3rd and goal from like the 14-yard line, in which they did end up hitting Chase and getting them back down to the 1, but they couldn't punch it in for the touchdown. And these are the type of things that hurt you as an NFL team. First and foremost, on the goal line, hey, man, we ain't going side to side. What are we going side to side for? And if I'm going side to side, I'm not going to go side to side backwards. like an end around, you catch an end around from about 6-7 yards behind, the line of scrimmage, 7-8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. You don't want to go backwards on the goal line. You at the 2-yard line. Your running back averaged 5 yards to carry this game. Hey, man, if y'all don't turn this ball around and give it to Mixon 1-2 times in a row, you know what I'm saying, and let this boy try to punch it in, what are y'all doing? Y'all playing games. Well, we going side to side. We going north and south. That's where we going. You gonna have to stop me. You ain't been stopping me all game. So what makes me think y'all gonna stop me here? It was a terrible play call, man. I ain't like it. I didn't like it. And hey, let's go. Zach Taylor, let's go, man. Let's start getting it together because these are big games. You need these games. These games are going to count come week 15, week 16, week 17, when, it's crunch time. These games are going to count. These plays are going to count. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all, sometimes these games come down to one play, and that was one play that hurt y'all. Put y'all 12 yards behind the line, behind the two. You was at the 2-yard line on the goal to go. 12 yards back after that puts you in a terrible situation, So they got to get it together, man. Straighten some things out. I do like the fact that Baltimore defense is looking a little better. Cincinnati's defense has still been playing pretty good this year. And, Baltimore comes away with this W, well-deserving W, winning this one 19-17. All right. On to the last game, man. We got the Monday night game, Las Vegas and Kansas City, where Kansas City win this game by 1 point, man. They win it 30-29, man, 30-29. But I'm going to say this, though. I'm going to say this in this particular game. For Las Vegas, they come out early. They start punching it in early or handing it to the Chiefs early, And they have really set out and made it a point to say, hey, man, we got Josh Jacobs, man. We about to use him. Josh Jacobs came out running that ball, and he's been running the ball very, very well the last couple of weeks, man. 21 rushes this week, 154 yards and a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? And he actually set up that first 58-yard touchdown pass to Adams. It was a 4th and 1. They all came down on the run. And this is what I don't like, okay? Chiefs, hear me out. If any of y'all Chiefs coaches are happening are coincidentally watching this video right now, or if it ever goes out to you, listen to me. Check me out, man. You did it last year against Jamar Chase, where you're getting these situations where you try to man up one-on-one with the best receiver on the team, knowing you ain't got a lockdown guy like that. You ain't got Gilly. You ain't got Patrick Surtain. You ain't got that guy like that on a corner. You don't have that. You know what I'm saying? You have mediocre at best cornerbacks, and you need to act as such. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got. Well, I wouldn't put Ramsey one-on-one with anybody either. But you ain't got Ramsey. You ain't got, what's my guy, Lattimore. You ain't got none of these guys, man. You cannot load up the box and go one-on-one with a number one receiver, and not just a number one receiver. You're talking about a top 3 receiver in the league. You can't do that. If you do that, that's an L for you every time. Because I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do if I'm a quarterback. I got one-on-one. I got the best in the business. Oh, man, we touchdown. We all throwing touchdowns. Willie throwing touchdowns. Oprah throwing touchdowns. Jarrell throwing touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? My grandma throwing touchdowns. We all throwing touchdowns. You cannot do that, man. And they continue to do it. They haven't learned a lesson. They got to fix that. They got to fix that because that's an issue, and that could cost them later on down the road when they go run against, well, actually, this upcoming week when they got to go see Buffalo, when they got to go see Josh Allen them. You know what I'm saying? Because the way I seen Josh Allen bombing boys to Gabe Davis, it'll be some smoke in this city if they try to do that against them boys. So, hey, man, Chiefs, y'all better get it together, man, and fix this because y'all can't do that against good teams. I said all that to say the Chiefs did keep their composure, and they did come away with this W in this game. They fought back. They didn't panic. Mahomes played a hell of a game, a solid game, 4 touchdowns in this game, all of them to Travis Kelce. You know what I'm saying? And when you hear 4 touchdowns, 7 catches and 4 touchdowns, you automatically feel like, oh, Kelce probably had a big day. He probably went 7 for 127, 4 touchdowns. Nah, that boy went 7 for 25 yards. But he had 4 touchdowns, though. All that matter is that boy got in that end zone. You know what I'm saying? He put them points on the board. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about them points. Putting them points on the board. Man, some of the comments in here, man. We got Jarrell. He said, desperate times call for desperate measures, man. Hey, man, I don't know if you're talking about the call that the Chiefs made or not. Hey, man, but that ain't desperate. That's silly. That's silly. You know what I'm saying? But or maybe you talking about just the Raiders team in general. Yeah. It's desperate out here, man. They got some stuff they need to do. Then I got my wife in the building, man. She said, when the facial expression goes, hey, when you see me do this, hey, I mean what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? She know that's my wife. That's what I'm talking about. That's my baby. Love her to death. Love you, baby. Hey, he said, Oprah, bro. Yep, Oprah. Everybody throwing touchdowns. We all throwing touchdowns. And say, this is their championship DNA. You right. You're right. They do got that championship DNA, man, and they came ready to play, and they act like a championship team in this game for the most part, in terms of their composure, them being able to fight back, and them coming away with this W in this particular game, man. Yeah, so I do like that. And then also Miles comes in. He says, Willie, no. I look at the Raiders and say to their fans, you can't make a loser a winner, baby. A winner, baby. You can't make a loser a winner, baby. Hey, you right, man. Hey, teams do what they do. They used to say the Chargers gonna charge it. You know, the Chargers gonna charge it. Hey, certain teams just got it in their DNA. You know, you can't teach a well, you may be able to teach a loser how to win, but hey, but it just ain't in them. It just ain't in the DNA, man. So that's just what it is. And yeah, that's how you go. Now, one thing I do want to touch on too. I almost forgot, man. The situation with Devonte Adams. All right, we got to address this. The situation with Devonte Adams. If you all seen the video, first off, there's 2 views. The first view I seen was a side view. So Devonte Adams coming off the field, of course, frustrated from the loss in this particular game, and he ends up pushing a reporter or a cameraman down. You know what I'm saying? Keeps on walking to the locker room. And that's just that. He did apologize or whatever, but keeps on walking. It looked rough from that particular point of view. He pushed him, you know what I'm saying? And it looked like he just pushed him just because. He was right there when he was in my way where I was walking, so I pushed him out the way. Then I seen the second view. Now, the second view, in my opinion, changed some things for me. You know what I'm saying? Because the second view showed Devonte Adams walking, head down, and a camera guy comes out of nowhere, kind of running full speed, and it was almost like a reaction, like, oh, somebody's in my face, but then he did throw the push too. So I still think the push came from a reaction and frustration, but I think it was more so of a reaction versus just I'm mad and I'm finna just push him and be a bully to him. I think there was a difference. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, I feel like I don't think he deserves a suspension. Maybe a fine for sure. Fine him, get in his pockets a little bit, but don't suspend him. You know, so I don't think he deserves a suspension. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, you know, these players, I feel like these players are what the NFL is going to do. They're probably going to go back to the drawing board again, like they do after something happens, as always, and they're going to try to come up with something to where they keep the players or keep these cameramen and stuff like that out of the players' way as they're walking out the field and so on and so forth. I did see that the guy also filed a report. And this is the thing, man. I ain't no doctor, and I ain't saying that it ain't true. But it says he suffered from whiplash, I think bruises, and a minor concussion. A minor concussion. Everybody in this group been pushed before. They've been pushed. Y'all been pushed. He pushed him down to the ground. Can't nobody make me believe he suffered a concussion from a push, man. He trying to get some of that bread. He got him an opportunity, and he like, hey, he trying to get some of that bread. He said, and Miles say he was in a car wreck. He was in a car wreck, Chop. Nah, man. Oh man, it ain't happening. It ain't happening, bro. That boy, he found him an opportunity. He like, hey man, I'm about to get some of this check. He getting that cameraman money. You know what I'm saying? He trying to get some of that wide receiver money, that top play in the NFL money, top play in the NFL money. That's what he trying to get, man. That's exactly what he trying to get. And he using that's right, Miles. He trying to use all this concussion talk. You know what I'm saying to get a little bit more of that. You know what I'm saying? He trying to play that up a little bit so he can get some of that bread, man. So that's where we at with that. All right, man. So that concludes all the games from week 5, man. We gave y'all the recaps, man. We went through them. We let y'all know where we at. But of course, you know we always got to do, man. We got to give y'all a preview of the Thursday night game. Willie Jack, if you in here, send me your game, man. I need to know who you picking. I need to know who you picking tonight, not tomorrow. Willie Jack, I need your pick tonight. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, everybody that's in check, I need y'all pick tonight, man. Thursday night, we got Washington going to Chicago to take on the Bears, man. And this right here is definitely a toilet bowl. It's a toilet bowl. You know what I'm saying? Two of some of the worst teams in the NFL. And I think I'm going to go to home team in this one, man. I'm going to go Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to ride with my dog, Justin Fields, because of the things that I saw and in the past game. I saw some good things, man. I saw some good things. I saw those flashes. Miles, I don't know if you heard me a little bit earlier. I talked about this game when they played, and some of those flashes that I saw in that particular game, you know, was some of the reasons why I feel like they need to build around them. Continue to build, man. See what you got there. See what you got first, because I don't think you truly know what you got, man, until you start building around them. So go ahead and build around them, you know, and I want to see what's going on. Willie Jack, you said garbage bowl, but I need a pick, Willie. Give me your pick. I said it was a toilet bowl. Give me your pick, though. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what's going on with that. But I'm going to go Chicago in this game, man. I feel like Chicago is this is tough, man. Because on the other end of that, Washington can light it up. Washington can light up. They have that potential. You know what I'm saying? With all those receivers and those guys over there. Also, Brian Robinson back. He back in the game, man. Kudos to him, man. After being shot multiple times, you know, in that robbery, he's gonna be back in this game. Well, actually, he was back last game, but he's back for sure. So we'll see if he eventually takes over this lead role for Washington. But like I said earlier, Rivera's on a hot seat. Rivera threw his quarterback under the bus, man, and I don't see it being a good situation over there. Good situation, and I'm rocking with Chicago, man. I'm going with Chicago. I'm rocking with them. I think they come away with this W. I think they pull it off. I think we see some of those. I think we see some plays from Darnell Mooney, Fields, and Montgomery this game. Those are the guys I think will kind of step up a little bit. We see some things from them, and they come away with this W. And I got my final score being 20. I give them 27. 27-24 final score of this game, man. They score a few points this game, man. Teams gonna score a few points. They're gonna surprise some teams, man. So that's where I'm going with this one, man. Few comments in here, man. Miles coming here, man. He say, I don't know, Chop, you high on the mole hill, man. High on the mole. Hey, it's cool. I'm just saying, I don't think they should draft it. If you ain't tried to if you draft the QB, you gotta set him up for success, man. If you ain't set him up for success, you can't just do that. Especially when you see certain things, you see flashes, you can't just get rid of them, throw them out, kick them out like that. You know what I'm saying? They drafted them. Put some pieces around them now. Build around them. See what they can do with that. And once they show that, then you can make your decision. But nah, it's too early to pull that trigger, man. They can't do that. They can't do that. All right. Willie Jack, there we go. That's what I like to see. He said give him the football team, you know what I'm saying, a little more to the Bears, a little. You know, more to the Bears, little. Okay, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? He got to watch the football team. That means that's one up already. That's one up for me. And Jarrell, I think Jarrell got Washington in this particular game too. He says, Wentz finna come out pissed, trying to prove his pimp wrong. And he did sit back in that chair, Jarrell. I seen your comment earlier. He sit back and said, oh, quarterback. It's the quarterback, you know. So he's gonna try to prove him wrong. But hey, if he come out pressing, that's more for me, because if he come out trying to press, trying to prove him wrong, that means I see some picks in the future. I see some picks in his future. So hey, That's where I'm going with that. Hey, and without further ado, man, there you have it. Let the film speak. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, man. We wrapping it up. I just pinned a comment on here at the bottom. Y'all heard Willie Jack. He said, hey, hit that like button. I need all y'all to hit that like button, man, before we head up out of here. Hit that like. I need y'all to hit that share, and I need y'all to hit that subscribe, man. I need y'all to do all three of those things. But also, I'm going to throw another one at you. Those who watching on YouTube, go and hit that notification bell, man. How else you going to find out exactly when we go live? Besides me telling you what time. You know what I mean? What if you forget? What if you feeding your baby? You know what I'm saying? What if you feeding the family? You know, what if you got some things going on? You got a wedding to go to. If you at a wedding, your phone needs to be going up and say, oh, man, I forgot chopping Willie on in the morning. Hey, I'm going to go on step to the back. I need to do what I need to do. You need to hit that notification button on YouTube as well, man. Let you know exactly when we going live. You know, whenever we post something, whenever we doing something, we need y'all in and on and doing and being a part of what we got going on, man. So hit that like, share, and subscribe button. But other than that, we going to be back 2 days now. We during season, so we here 2 days a week. We here Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock on the dot. Me and Willie Jack, let the film speak. We do the recap on all the games from the previous week. And Chopping Willie in the morning, Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Central Time. We there every morning giving you your pre-games. So be there. Be looking out for us this Sunday, 10 a.m. Central Time. Me and Willie Jack on. He should be off the PUP list. Right now, he's questionable. If you got your fantasy teams, he's listed as questionable. You know what I'm saying? But he will be there. You know what I'm saying? He will be there. I got faith. We are preparing for Willie Jack to be our starter Sunday morning at 10 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Yes, on the dot, Willie Jack. On the dot. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling us out this week, man. The last couple of weeks, it was 10:01, 10:02. This week, I'm calling us out, Willie Jack. So we're going to be there, man. I need y'all to be there. Check us out. Chopping Willie in the morning, Sunday morning. But other than that, man, for those who stepped in and showed some love, we appreciate y'all. Drill, Willie Jack, William, Miles, Tion, you know what I'm saying? Anybody else that stepped in, Kevin. I would appreciate everybody for joining in on us tonight, with us tonight, man. And if I forgot to say your name, as my dog Willie Jack would say, charge it to my head, not my heart, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all, man. And until next time.